I step into the frozen abyss of Antarctica, where chilling secrets lie beneath the ice. Was there truly a Nazi base hidden here, untouched by time? Join me on Forgotten History Tales as we uncover the chilling truth buried in the ice. As the bitter wind cuts through the air, I take another step, feeling the weight of the unknown pressing against me. The vast expanse of Antarctica lies still, almost too still, as if the land itself is holding its breath. I know, somewhere beneath the ice the answer waits, waiting for someone to find it, to uncover the secret buried deep within. But the more I think about the mystery, the more questions rise to the surface. The stories of Operation High Jump, the mission that was meant to be a training exercise, but quickly became something much more, linger in my mind like shadows creeping closer. In 1947, as the winds of war had only just begun to settle, the United States dispatched Admiral Richard E. Byrd and a fleet of ships, aircraft, and personnel to the frozen wasteland of Antarctica. Officially, the mission was a post-war military training expedition, a way to test out new technologies and assert American presence in the southernmost continent. But the timing, the scale, and the secrecy of the operation all raised the stakes. Why so much force? Why the secrecy? I can almost see it now, the icy expanse stretching out before Byrd's men as they set sail, their breath visible in the freezing air. The sight of the massive ships cutting through the ice-choked seas, the hum of engines beneath the surface. These men weren't just soldiers. They were explorers, sent to chart new territories and possibly uncover something buried beneath the Earth's icy skin. They weren't just looking at the landscape. They were looking for answers. What answers, though, was a question few dared to ask aloud. Byrd's mission wasn't just about mapping the land, as it turned out. The rumors had already started to swirl. The whispers of Nazi technology, of hidden bases, of secret experiments. They reached Byrd's ears, and the more I think about it, the more I realize he must have known. He must have wondered if there was something beneath the ice, something the Nazis had hidden, something they didn't want the world to ever find. I think back to the reports from the men who had gone on the mission, and the accounts are strange, haunting. The men spoke of encounters with something far beyond the scope of their mission, something they were ill prepared for. They talked of mysterious aircraft seen above the icy wastes, of strange movements under the ice, and of a sense of something ancient, something wrong, lurking in the shadows of the frozen expanse. Could they have seen the remnants of the Nazi base, the one that many believed was hidden beneath the ice? What if Byrd's men hadn't just been searching for lost territories, but were sent to investigate something that was never meant to be found? Reports from the mission were sketchy at best. Many were classified, and those that did make their way into the public eye were often dismissed as exaggerations. But there were whispers from men who came back changed in ways they couldn't explain. Their eyes were haunted, their voices soft and distant. The memories they carried with them weren't of ice and snow, but of something much more terrifying. What if the rumors weren't just rumors? What if the Nazis had truly discovered something beneath the ice, something older than civilization itself? A base, perhaps, or a hidden technology that allowed them to slip through the cracks of history unnoticed. The idea is chilling, that the end of the war didn't mark the end of the Nazi ambitions. They didn't just vanish. They retreated into the ice, taking their darkest secrets with them. And what if those secrets are still buried there, just waiting to be uncovered? I find myself standing at the edge of that mystery, staring into the abyss of the unknown. The pieces of the puzzle are there, scattered across the years, waiting to be put together. Byrd's mission, the strange reports, the hidden bases, and the terrifying stories from those who dared to go searching, all of them point to one chilling conclusion. Something is down there. Something that the world has yet to fully understand. The more I reflect on this, the more I am drawn into it, the more I feel the pull of those mysteries just beyond reach. Could it be that Byrd's mission wasn't simply a search for new lands, but a search for the dark secrets of the Nazis, hidden beneath the ice, waiting for someone to claim them? The truth is out there, waiting to be uncovered, but it remains as elusive as the winds that whip across the frozen plains. The further I step into this frozen wasteland, the more I can feel the weight of the world's curiosity pressing down. What if those who returned from the high jump expedition were the last to know the truth? What if, as they left the ice, they carried with them a knowledge that they were never meant to possess? I feel the temperature drop, the wind howling louder, and the ice cracking beneath my feet. The whispers, the stories, the truth. It's all frozen in time, beneath layers of snow and history, waiting for someone to find it. But I wonder, am I the one who will uncover it? Or will I, too, be swallowed by the ice? As I stand here, looking at the vast expanse of white, I can't help but wonder, what did Byrd's men truly find? And what did they bring back with them? The cold is closing in, and the mystery of Antarctica, Germany's hidden base, and the legacy of Operation High Jump has only just begun to reveal its secrets. The next chapter, it may hold the key to the truth. The air is thick with tension, a suffocating silence that seems to stretch across the vastness of the Antarctic landscape. I step forward, the snow crunching beneath my boots, and as I breathe in the frigid air, it feels as though the very atmosphere is closing in on me. The mystery lies before me, but the path to the truth is shrouded in layers of deception, secrecy, and history that has been carefully swept under the rug. What did Byrd and his men truly uncover, and why, all these years later, is it still hidden from the world? The winds howl, pushing the cold deeper into my bones as I picture the men of Operation High Jump. They were sent to explore the icy wilderness, to map the land, to stake a claim for America in the uncharted southernmost point of the globe. But it was clear from the very beginning that their mission was not just about geography. It was about something far more mysterious, something far more dangerous. One of the most striking accounts that still echoes in my mind is of a man named Lieutenant Colonel Gerald Jerry S. Ludington. He was part of the military team, and his journal entry, which surfaced years later, revealed unsettling details. Ludington spoke of a strange encounter during their reconnaissance flight when the pilots saw, from a distance, a massive, shimmering object hovering above the icy expanse. It wasn't a plane, he noted, nor was it any weather phenomenon they had encountered before. It moved with unnatural speed, darting across the sky in ways that defied physics. The pilots were shocked, stunned into silence, and they reported what they had seen to Byrd. What followed was even more bizarre. The entire fleet was called back to base. A change in orders was issued. What had initially been planned as a long-term mission for mapping and exploration was abruptly cut short, and the men who had been part of the expedition were sent back to the States, none of them ever speaking openly again about what had really transpired. Ludington's report was never released to the public. He was ordered to keep silent, and the official narrative about Operation High Jump has since been carefully molded into a story about military preparedness and scientific exploration. But there are those who know the truth. The men who returned spoke in hushed tones, their voices filled with fear and uncertainty. They didn't just witness strange phenomena in the sky. They saw things on the ground, things they could not explain. A secret Nazi base? Perhaps. But more chilling still, what if the technology they uncovered was not from Germany at all? What if it was something older, something that predated humanity's own civilization? I can almost hear the buzz of speculation in the rooms where these men met after their return. What did they find beneath the ice? A hidden city? Alien technology? Or worse, something that could change the course of human history, for better or for worse? I try to imagine myself in their shoes. I'm on the ice, surrounded by the blinding white. The sounds of the world I know, seem so distant. And then, in the cold silence, I see it, a shadow moving beneath the ice. Something massive, something old, something not meant to be found. My heart would race, my pulse quicken, my thoughts swirl in a chaotic frenzy of disbelief. What did they feel when they saw it? How could they explain it to themselves, let alone the world? How could anyone believe such a thing? There is a part of me that wonders if the stories we've been told are nothing more than a carefully constructed narrative, meant to mask the truth. The idea that a Nazi base remained hidden in Antarctica. Could it really be that simple? Could it be that we're looking in the wrong place? Or perhaps there's something much deeper, something buried beneath the ice that the world isn't ready to face. One man, who spoke under condition of anonymity years later, claimed to have seen photographs from Operation High Jump. These photographs, he said, were classified and hidden away in archives, but in them, there was something inexplicable. The images were blurred, but the shapes within them were unmistakable. Large mechanical structures buried beneath the snow, massive objects with intricate designs that seemed out of place, as if they had no business being in Antarctica at all. What were they? Could these be the remnants of the Nazi experiments? Or were they something else entirely? Something far beyond the capabilities of human technology at the time? I feel my breath catch in my throat as I stand there, the cold gnawing at my skin. It's as if the very land is whispering to me, telling me that the answers I seek are buried beneath the ice, hidden in plain sight. Yet, the more I search, the more I am confronted by walls of secrecy, walls of fear, walls that seem to be designed to keep the truth locked away, forever beyond reach. The path ahead grows darker as the mystery unfolds. There's a feeling that something is waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. A force, an entity, an ancient secret. Whatever it is, it's lying beneath the snow, just out of sight, just out of reach. And as I walk further into the cold, I can't help but wonder, will I be the one to uncover it? Or will I, too, be consumed by the ice and the secrets it holds? There's a saying among explorers, the ice never forgets. It buries everything beneath its surface, keeping the past locked away from the world. But some secrets, no matter how deep they're buried, always find their way to the surface. The cold is closing in. The truth is almost within my grasp. But I wonder, what happens when it's finally revealed? The winds howl louder, the ice seems to shift, and the mystery of Antarctica, of Germany's hidden base, of Operation High Jump, it beckons me closer. The next step I take could uncover everything, or nothing at all. But I can't stop now. The story is too close. The truth is too important. The wind howls. a deafening scream that cuts through the barren expanse of snow and ice, echoing through the frozen void. I feel it deep in my bones, the cold creeping into my very soul as I march forward, driven by a force I can't quite explain. There's something pulling me, something buried beneath the ice, waiting to be uncovered. I know I'm not the first to come this far. Countless men, including Byrd and his expeditionary forces, have stood in this very place. But none have returned with answers. They've all been silenced, their whispers lost in the winds. And yet, the truth is out there, just beneath the surface, hidden within the layers of snow and history. What did Byrd's men find? What did they bring back with them? The more I think about it, the clearer it becomes. Operation High Jump was not just about reconnaissance or military strategy or even scientific exploration. It was about something darker, something hidden, something so dangerous that the truth had to be buried deep, beneath the very ice that now seals its secrets away. I can see it now, the images burned into my mind. Byrd's fleet slicing through the frozen seas, their aircraft flying over the desolate ice plains, their eyes searching for something, anything, that would explain the strange phenomena they had been hearing about for years. And then, the sudden change, the urgency, the secrecy. Orders shifted. The fleet, instead of engaging in months of research, was pulled back, abruptly, urgently, as if they had found something they weren't supposed to. The men who returned were different. Their faces were pale, haunted. They spoke in hushed tones, careful not to reveal too much. But there were hints, whispers in the corridors of power, of what had really happened, of strange encounters in the skies above Antarctica, of dark metallic structures buried beneath the ice, and of Nazi symbols that had no place in the modern world. What had Byrd and his men truly uncovered? And why, all these years later, does the world still remain in the dark? I think of the few brave souls who have ventured into Antarctica since Byrd's expedition. Explorers, scientists, adventurers, each of them seeking to uncover the truth. But no matter how much they searched, how deep they dug, the answers eluded them. The strange artifacts, the glowing lights in the sky, the encounters with unexplained phenomena, each expedition was met with the same eerie silence. It was as if the land itself was pushing them back, telling them, "You are not meant to know." The accounts are fragmentary, like pieces of a shattered puzzle, but they are there, scattered across time and across the earth. And each one tells the same story, of something hidden beneath the ice. Something that could change everything. Something that the world is not ready to face. I think back to the photographs, those blurry, distorted images that surfaced years later. The ones that some say were taken by Byrd's men during Operation High Jump. In those images, you can see the outlines of massive structures, structures that don't belong to any civilization known to man. Metal, spires, gleaming in the sun, their jagged edges reaching upward like the fingers of a forgotten god. The photographs, though never officially acknowledged, have fueled wild theories. Some believe they show the remnants of an ancient city, while others insist they are the ruins of a Nazi base, a place where experiments were conducted that went far beyond the realms of science as we know it. As I stand here, in the midst of this frozen wasteland, I feel the weight of those secrets pressing down on me. The truth is out there, I know it, but it is not so easily discovered. It is buried under layers of ice, under layers of fear. And yet, I can't stop myself from wanting to know, from needing to understand. What was the real purpose of Operation High Jump? What did Byrd's men uncover, and why was it covered up so thoroughly? I can hear their voices in my mind, the men who were there. They never spoke of it, not openly. Some said it was a matter of national security, others swore it was something much more sinister. The military tried to bury the truth, to keep the public from knowing what had been discovered. But some things, I suppose, can never be fully hidden. The truth always finds a way to slip through, to be uncovered, no matter how carefully it's buried. I feel a sense of urgency in my chest. The mystery is so close now, yet I know that uncovering it may not bring the answers I seek. Sometimes, I wonder if the truth will be more dangerous than the questions I've been asking. What if the secrets beneath the ice are far darker than I can possibly imagine? What if they are connected to something older, something from a time before man even walked the earth? As the wind picks up again, I feel the cold seeping into my very core, as though it's trying to stop me, to turn me back. But I can't turn back now. The mystery is pulling me forward, and the truth lies just ahead, buried beneath the snow, waiting to be uncovered. What will I find when I reach it? Will I finally understand the truth behind Operation High Jump? Or will I too be lost to the ice, my name added to the list of those who dared to seek what was meant to remain hidden? The cold winds scream louder now, and the ice shifts beneath me. The mystery, the truth, it's almost within my grasp. I can feel it, but I can't shake the question that haunts me. Will I survive the revelation? The deeper I go, the closer I get. But something tells me the real journey has only just begun, and the answers may be more terrifying than I could ever have imagined. The ice is waiting. I stand on the edge of the abyss, the wind howling louder, biting at my skin with a ferocity that matches the cold silence that hangs in the air. The vast frozen landscape stretches before me, a barren white desert that seems to go on forever. And beneath that ice, hidden in the deep, there lies the answer, just beyond reach. But with every step I take, the truth grows colder, more elusive, and I realize that perhaps the truth isn't just buried in the ice, it's buried in fear. The question that haunts me now isn't just what was found beneath the ice, it's why it was hidden so carefully. Why would anyone go to such lengths to suppress the truth? The more I uncover about Operation High Jump, the more I start to question the official narrative, the story we've been told about Byrd's expedition, about the mission's failure, about the abrupt end to the operation. It doesn't add up. The pieces of this puzzle don't fit, no matter how hard I try to make them. What if the men of Operation High Jump didn't just encounter strange, unexplainable phenomena in the sky? What if they discovered something far more dangerous? Something that didn't just threaten national security, but the entire world? What if the High Jump mission wasn't just a search for Nazi secrets, but a desperate attempt to stop something far darker from being uncovered? I can almost hear the echoes of Byrd's voice as he briefed his men, the tension in the air thick as they prepared to venture into the icy unknown. What had they been sent to find? What did they really encounter? The more I think about it, the more I begin to wonder if Byrd himself had been a part of something much larger, something much darker. Was he a part of a cover-up? Or was he just another pawn, sent to retrieve what the world wasn't supposed to know? The men of Operation High Jump came back, but their accounts were fragmented, their stories incomplete. Some never spoke a word of what they had witnessed. Others whispered among themselves, but never openly. It was clear that something had happened during that expedition, something that changed the men who returned from it. But what could it have been? What could have been so terrible that it would lead to the suppression of their accounts, the silencing of their voices? The more I delve into the files, the more I uncover rumors of sightings, strange metallic objects in the sky, spinning with a speed that defied explanation. And then there were the mysterious structures, massive, gleaming structures buried beneath the ice. The photographs that surfaced later, though blurred and incomplete, suggested something not of human design. Could these structures be remnants of an ancient civilization? Or were they the result of Nazi experimentation, something far beyond their time? I think of the reports from those who came after Byrd, the ones who tried to pick up where the mission had left off. These explorers, scientists, and adventurers ventured into the frozen expanse, seeking answers, but they too returned with strange stories. Stories of massive underground caverns, of ancient artifacts, of technology far beyond anything humanity had ever seen. Some even claimed to have seen lights, bright, unnatural lights, that seemed to pulse from deep within the ice, as if something, or someone, was waiting there, just out of reach. And then there are the deeper, darker rumors, the ones that are whispered only in shadows, the ones that are carefully hidden from the public. The stories of secret societies, of men who have been watching the ice for decades, keeping the truth locked away. What are they protecting? What lies beneath the surface? Could it be that the Nazis discovered something beneath the ice in the final days of the war? Could they have stumbled upon technology or knowledge that was never meant to be known by human hands? There's a part of me that wonders if Operation High Jump was more than just a military mission. What if it was the beginning of a larger, global effort to keep the world from knowing what was hidden in Antarctica? The whispers that have followed the expedition for decades suggest that Byrd himself may have known the truth, that the discovery made during Operation High Jump wasn't just about Nazi technology, but about something far more dangerous, something that could change the course of history. But here's the truth I can't shake. If what was found beneath the ice truly held the power to change the world, then why hasn't anyone talked about it? Why has it remained so carefully hidden from the public eye? The more I think about it, the more I begin to realize that there are forces at play here far beyond anything I can fully understand. Forces that have worked tirelessly to keep the truth buried. But the more I dig, the clearer it becomes. The truth is there, just beneath the surface, waiting for someone brave enough to uncover it. The deeper I go into this mystery, the more I understand the true cost of knowledge. There are things in this world that are better left unknown. But what if the knowledge we've been kept from is the very thing that could change everything? What if it's too dangerous for anyone to know? And what if, by uncovering the truth, we would be unleashing something far darker than we ever imagined? As the cold seeps deeper into my bones, I know that I'm close. I feel it in the pit of my stomach, in the weight of the questions that hang over me like a shadow. The truth is out there, hidden beneath layers of ice and secrecy. But as I get closer, I realize something more. This is not just about the past. This is about the future. And whatever is buried beneath the ice, it's not done with us yet. The wind howls once more, and I hear the faintest echo of something. Ancient, perhaps, or just a figment of my imagination. But in this frozen wasteland, where time stands still, I know that the mystery isn't over. It has only just begun, and with every step, The chilling truth looms ever closer. What will I find next? What happens when the truth finally emerges from beneath the ice? I can't stop now. The ice is waiting. And so is the truth. The darkness beneath the ice is almost suffocating now. As I walk through this vast, silent expanse, I feel as if I'm being drawn deeper into a void that has existed long before the first footstep was ever made in Antarctica. The cold grips tighter, but it's not just the temperature that chills me. It's the overwhelming feeling that I'm on the verge of uncovering something that could change everything. A secret, locked away for decades, buried beneath layers of snow, ice, and history. The whispers I've heard, the rumors, the scattered pieces of evidence, they all point to something far more significant than a mere Nazi base or some post-war military operation. No, this is much deeper. This is about power, about knowledge, about a force that humanity has never fully understood. As I think back to the reports from Operation High Jump, the more I realize how little we know. Byrd's expedition, though officially portrayed as a mission for exploration and reconnaissance, was likely a smokescreen for something far darker, something that was never meant to see the light of day. The men who returned spoke in hushed tones about strange occurrences, unexplainable events that haunted their dreams and lingered in their minds long after they left the ice. They spoke of the sky, but not in the way we speak of it today. They described shapes, too fast, too bright, moving in ways that defied all logic, defied the very nature of the Earth's atmosphere. But it wasn't just the sky they saw. It was what they found beneath it, beneath the ice, beneath the snow, deep inside the belly of the frozen wasteland. The men of Operation High Jump never spoke openly of their discoveries. They couldn't, and perhaps, after what they had seen, they didn't want to. But as I stand here, feeling the weight of the ice pressing in from all sides, I can't help but wonder. What did they find? What was so dangerous, so terrifying, that the truth has been buried for so long? There are stories that suggest that Byrd, after his return, was deeply changed, shaken to his very core. Those who knew him in the years that followed claim that he became obsessed with the idea of what lay beneath Antarctica. Was it the discovery of alien technology, or something far older, something that predated humanity itself? One thing is clear. Byrd's mission was never just about mapping uncharted territory. It was about something much more profound, something that had the potential to change everything. But whatever was discovered, whatever knowledge was unearthed, the consequences of revealing it would have been too great. The truth was locked away, and the men who knew it were silenced, their voices lost to history. But the echoes of their experiences linger, whispers in the dark that refuse to be silenced. I think of the few who have dared to venture into Antarctica since then, explorers and adventurers who have faced the same terrifying questions. They too have returned with strange tales, tales of lights in the sky, of strange forces beneath the ice, of massive structures that seem to defy time and logic. And yet, when they return, they find themselves shunned, their stories dismissed as fantasy, as the ramblings of the obsessed. But what if these stories are not just fantasy? What if they are the fragments of the truth, the pieces of a much larger puzzle that humanity has never been allowed to see? The more I search, the more I uncover about the nature of Operation High Jump, the more I realize that this isn't just about a hidden Nazi base or advanced technology. It's about something older, something buried beneath the ice for reasons that go far beyond national security or post-war interests. Could it be that the Nazis stumbled upon something that had been hidden away for millennia? Something that they tried to control, but ultimately failed to understand? I can't shake the feeling that the truth is not just buried in Antarctica, it is buried within us. Perhaps we are not ready for it. Not yet. The knowledge that lies beneath the ice is too dangerous, too powerful to be left in the hands of those who seek to control it. But that knowledge remains, waiting, as the ice shifts and the winds howl, buried deep beneath the frozen wasteland. And yet, despite the danger, the pull is irresistible. Every step I take brings me closer to it. I can feel it in the air, in the silence that surrounds me, in the weight of history pressing down on my shoulders. What was it that the Nazis found? And why have we been kept from the truth for so long? As I push forward, the landscape begins to change. The ice and snow give way to something different, something unnatural. I see it in the distance, a shape. At first, it's barely visible, a mere shadow against the blinding white of the ice. But as I get closer, it becomes clearer, an outline of something massive, something that doesn't belong here, something that should have been lost to history, but instead has been preserved in the ice, hidden from view for decades. I can feel my heart race as I approach it. The closer I get, the more I realize that this is it, the truth. Whatever it is, it's just ahead. But a part of me is afraid of what I might uncover, afraid of the consequences of revealing it. What lies beneath the ice? And more importantly, who will be left standing when the truth finally emerges? The wind picks up again, the cold biting deeper, and I know that this moment, this discovery, is only the beginning. The world is about to change, and we will never be the same again. The truth is waiting. But at what cost? The ice is shifting, and the answers are almost within my grasp. I stand at the edge, breathless, as I gaze upon the sight before me. The ice and snow stretch endlessly in all directions, but in the distance, a massive structure rises from the depths of the earth. It's not a mountain. It's not a natural formation. It's something else, something deliberate. The surface of the ice around it is cracked, as though something enormous has emerged from beneath, forcing its way through centuries of frozen earth. And, though the structure is half buried, its outline is unmistakable. A geometric form, smooth and angular, far too precise for nature to have crafted. The cold cuts through me like a blade, but it is nothing compared to the sense of dread that fills my chest. I can feel the weight of history pressing in from all sides. This is it. This is what was hidden from the world, the secret that Operation High Jump sought to uncover, the truth that has been buried beneath layers of snow, ice, and decades of silence. I take a step forward, hesitant, knowing that what lies ahead could be the key to understanding everything: the rumors, the whispers, the strange occurrences in the skies, the unexplainable phenomena that have haunted the records of explorers and scientists for decades. What was the Nazi regime searching for in Antarctica? What did they find? And why did it become so dangerous that it needed to be hidden from the world? I feel a shiver run down my spine as I draw closer to the structure. It is unlike anything I've ever seen, a blend of mechanical and organic, as though it was created not by human hands, but by something far older, far more advanced. The surface of the structure is covered in a strange iridescent sheen that seems to shimmer and change depending on the angle of the light. I reach out, my hand trembling, as if the structure itself is reaching out to me. But before my fingers make contact, I pull back. There's a part of me that knows I shouldn't be here, that this place, whatever it is, was never meant to be found. But another part of me, The part that has been driven by the need for answers, urges me forward. The world has waited too long for this truth, and it's time for the veil to be lifted. There's no turning back now. I take another step, moving closer to the structure. The air grows colder, the silence more oppressive. And then, as I get closer, I see it. A symbol faintly etched into the surface of the structure. It's subtle, almost imperceptible at first, but as my eyes adjust, I recognize it. The swastika, the unmistakable mark of the Nazis, etched into a monument that should never have existed. It is a cruel reminder of the past, a past that refuses to stay buried. But as I study the symbol, something shifts within me. This isn't just a Nazi base. This isn't just a remnant of their twisted experiments. No, this is something else, something far older, far more dangerous. The Nazis didn't build this. They discovered it. The realization hits me like a wave. The Nazis didn't just stumble upon technology. They uncovered something ancient, something so powerful that it became a weapon in itself. This structure wasn't built by human hands. It was built by a civilization long forgotten, a civilization whose knowledge was too great, too dangerous for mankind to wield. And the Nazis, in their desperation and thirst for power, tried to control it. But in doing so, they made a terrible mistake. They awoke something that should have remained asleep, something that has been waiting beneath the ice for millennia. And in their ignorance, they unleashed a force that humanity was never meant to understand. The wind picks up again, and I hear a low hum reverberating through the ice. At first, it's faint, barely noticeable. But as I get closer to the structure, the sound grows louder, more insistent. It's as if the very ground beneath me is alive, as if the structure itself is waking up, reacting to my presence. My heart races, and the hair on the back of my neck stands up. I've uncovered something far greater than I ever anticipated, something far more terrifying than I could have imagined. The hum intensifies, vibrating in the air, in my bones, as though the structure is calling to me. I stop, frozen in place, knowing that I've reached the point of no return. I've found the truth, but now I must face it. I must understand what has been hidden for so long. I take a deep breath and step forward, my heart pounding in my chest. The structure looms above me, dark and foreboding, its surface pulsing with an energy I can't comprehend. I reach out again, this time with both hands, and press my palms against the cold, iridescent surface. A shock runs through me, sharp, electric, and for a moment, I feel as though I've connected to something much larger than myself, something ancient, something not of this world. And then, just as quickly, the hum stops. The world goes silent. The structure is still, as if it's waiting for something, waiting for me. I take a step back, unsure of what I've just experienced, but I know one thing for certain. I've uncovered something that the world was never meant to know. The Nazis weren't the first to discover this place. They were simply the most recent to stumble upon it. The true origin of the structure, its purpose, its creators, these are questions I don't have answers to yet. But I know now that the truth is far darker than any of us could have imagined. The ice cracks beneath my feet, and I hear a distant rumble, like thunder. The wind picks up, swirling in a frenzy, as if the earth itself is reacting to what I've uncovered. Something stirs beneath the surface, something ancient and powerful. What have I unleashed? What have I woken? The truth is within reach, but the cost of understanding it may be more than I can bear. I take one last look at the structure, knowing that I've only begun to unravel its mysteries. But as I turn away, The question echoes in my mind. What happens now? The ice shifts again, and I know that the answers are coming, but they won't be easy. The world is about to change, and I wonder, will we be ready for it? The wind howls through the desolate ice fields, a wailing, mournful cry that echoes across the frozen landscape. It feels like the earth itself is speaking, its voice cold, ancient, and relentless. As I stand there, the weight of the discovery presses down on me. The structure behind me looms like a silent sentinel, its dark, iridescent surface reflecting the harsh light of the Antarctic sun in a way that makes it seem almost alive. I've uncovered something that has been hidden for millennia, something far beyond human comprehension. And yet, as the cold grips my bones, I can't shake the feeling that the real truth has only just begun to reveal itself. I thought I understood what I was searching for. I thought that this was just about uncovering the secrets of a lost Nazi base buried beneath the ice. But the truth is so much more than that. The Nazis were not the creators of this structure. They were merely the most recent players in a much larger, far older story. This is not just a Nazi secret. This is a world-shaping secret, a power so ancient that the very knowledge of it could change everything. I take a step back from the structure, my heart pounding, my breath shallow in the freezing air. The hum that had filled the air earlier is gone now, but the sense of being watched, of being drawn into something far greater than myself, has only intensified. I feel the ground beneath my feet shift, like the earth is slowly coming back to life, waking up after an eternal slumber. What did the Nazis find here? What did they awaken? And more importantly, why was this hidden for so long? Why did the world need to remain in the dark? I think of the men who came before me, the ones who sought the truth but never found it. Byrd, his mission ending in secrecy and silence. Operation High Jump, a failure wrapped in layers of classified reports and suppressed memories. The strange reports of pilots seeing unidentified flying objects, of soldiers returning with stories that were too strange to believe. These men uncovered pieces of the puzzle, but they could never put them together. Now, as I stand here, I realize the scale of what they were up against. This isn't just a story of Nazis and their twisted ambitions. This is a story of something much older, something that predates human history itself. The structure before me isn't just an abandoned outpost. It's a monument to a lost civilization, one that perhaps never truly disappeared, but instead retreated beneath the ice, waiting for the right moment to be discovered again. I wonder what the Nazis thought when they first stumbled upon this place. Were they the first to find it? Or were they merely the latest in a long line of explorers and invaders who sought to control something that wasn't meant to be controlled? The Nazis may have been the most recent, but this discovery is far older than they could have ever imagined. The power, the knowledge, the technology buried beneath the ice, it belongs to no one, not the Nazis, not anyone in our time. It's too dangerous, too powerful. As I stand there, I hear the rumble again, deeper this time, a distant sound that seems to come from within the ice itself. I can feel the ground vibrate beneath my feet, the air thickening with an energy that I can't explain. The structure before me, once dormant, now feels as though it's awakening. The hum is gone, but the presence remains. It's almost as if it's aware of me, watching me, waiting for something. I take a step back, my mind racing with the implications of what I've uncovered. This is not just a relic of the past. This is something that has been waiting for the right time, the right hands to discover it. And I wonder, is that what I am? The right person to uncover this truth, or the wrong one? Am I the one who was meant to find this? Or am I merely the latest in a long line of people who have been drawn to this place, only to be consumed by its power? The wind picks up again, stronger this time, as though the earth itself is trying to push me away. I turn to look back at the structure one last time, but a feeling stops me. It's the feeling of being watched, of something shifting beneath the surface, just beyond the edges of perception. The cold is sharper now, more intense, as if the ice is pushing back, trying to close in around me. It's as though the land is protecting its secret, protecting something far too powerful to be let loose into the world. And I realize then, with a sudden, horrifying clarity, what if some truths are meant to remain buried? The wind howls louder, the snow swirling around me, and I know that the discovery I've made is only the beginning. The true nature of the structure, of the civilization that built it, and of the power it holds. These are questions that will never be answered easily. What lies beneath the ice is not just history. It is a force that can change the course of mankind, and I'm standing on the precipice of that change, unsure of whether it is something I should welcome or fear. As I begin to walk away, I feel a sense of finality. The ice has closed in, the winds have silenced, and yet the questions linger in the cold air. What happens when humanity uncovers a secret that it was never meant to know? I hear one last rumble beneath my feet, and for a fleeting moment, I wonder if I've unleashed something far darker than I ever intended. I turn and walk back, the wind's at my back, but the cold is inside me now, deep within my bones. And I know one thing for certain. The truth buried beneath the ice is far too dangerous to be left alone, and it won't stay buried forever. The world is on the brink of something new, something terrifying. The structure, the mystery, the power. It's all waiting, and one day someone else will come, and they will uncover what I have only begun to understand. When that moment comes, will the world be ready? I can only hope, because the truth, once unleashed, is never easily contained. And as I leave Antarctica behind, I wonder, what if we were never meant to know?